I'm WB4L, and y'all lads, what's good? Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, let me redo that. My bad, chat. I'm WB4L, and y'all let's go. What's good, YouTube? We back with another one. We back with another banger. Today we're gonna be right to the SOULJA SLIM, man. Today we're gonna be right to why SOULJA SLIM was so fair and dangerous, you know? And why he was upset with Cash Money Records. We're gonna see, man. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Y'all from the city, y'all from New Orleans, man, listen. You know SOULJA SLIM was a problem, bro. That nigga was really like that. He was really in the field, you know what I mean? So if you like the video, subscribe, like, comment, send it to your grandma, send it to your cousins, send it to your mama. I don't cuss. That might cause a little
came
fuss.
at
Let's
me.
get it,
Man, what y'all gonna do with Slim, bro?
He wanted it. Slim was originally supposed to be on Cash Money.
Even Slim had some type of connection to Cash Money. On the old BG song, he was like on 6 Shot, Pass Me That 6 Shot. 6 Shot was supposed to be featured on that song, but 6 Shot wanted his bread up front. And at that time, you know, Cash Money wasn't even, they ain't had a deal or nothing like that. So Baby was like, you know, like, man, just put it down and pay you on later on down the line. And I think, you know, back then, wanted their bread, so they didn't never put the verse on there, you feel me?
So what about, and so Slim worked with Cash Money before?
Yeah, all us come from the Cash Money Club. It wasn't never like Slim started Cutthroat.
SOULJA SLIM, man, that's like a legendary down south rapper, hip hop artist. His team is called the Cutthroat Committee.
Gotta get it to Slim, man. That's the only real nigga.
SOULJA that motherfucking heat up.
That's them projects right there. That's really them projects. That's them projects right there. If you know, you know. See, a lot of people claim they be from New Orleans and they be from the projects, but they be lying. If you claim you from New Orleans, you lying. If you was born after a certain, like, I go back. Certain people do be from New Orleans, bro, but a lot of people don't. Like, if you was born like 2005 or 6, I ain't gonna lie, you could get away with it because I was born in 2006. My people ain't want me in that environment, you know what I mean? But some of us be saying they from the city, but how you from there if you was born while Katrina was going on? You see what I'm saying? But they probably did move back, you know, they rebuild everything and all that. But a lot of motherfuckers be lying, putting on accents. I'm from New Orleans. One girl gonna say she from downtown. They say downtown. No, one girl gonna say she from the night walk and gonna say that's uptown. And I was starting laughing. I'm like, people just be, I'm from Slidell, you know what I'm saying? Like my dad's side of the family, all his side from New Orleans. My mama's side, her side from like BR, you know, Violet, New Orleans a little bit too. So yeah, I used to be down there a lot, but I ain't from there. I ain't about to claim that.
Fucking heat up on me. Man, Slim was a cold-blooded gangster, like for real. Slim just was, you know, different.
Man, I was a young, and it was that was a wild looking, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't even look like you could really just walk up on this. You know what I'm saying?
Before he was a rapper, he was a product of Third Ward New Orleans, which began to prepare him for the life laid out before him. Slim was raised by street kings, so all he knew was top of the food chain, and it showed throughout his life activities as well as his music.
Nigga said SOULJA SLIM used to be on that dog food. Nigga said when he used to run out of when he used to run out of his drugs, that nigga used to ride a plug. Nigga said SOULJA SLIM used to ride a plug when he used to run out the drugs. You know it get bad, you know? But that nigga was a gangster, son. SOULJA SLIM was really like that. Like, all these rappers that claim like they like that, like, I can really give it to the Jeff Vaughn and SOULJA SLIM. Like, that's the niggas you know for sure, like, who wasn't lying. Like, them niggas really was living that. Like, whatever they rapped about, they did it. Like, real talk. SOULJA SLIM, I don't know, he from Louisiana, he from New Orleans, so I'm obviously gonna put him over all of them. That nigga was a gangster. Go back to that video when he had that chop in the studio when he parted that bit with a 60 with that banana clip. I'm like, oh, shit, I ain't never seen
Became
like that back.
the mouthpiece for have-nots, hustlers, and gangsters in the city, spitting his life over dope beats that they all could relate to.
SOULJA SLIM is basically our Tupac.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's basically who everybody looked up to.
For sure. Y'all know that it's on.
Even in being in that Magnolia, pretty much everybody that
everybody out in his neighborhood went to Cash Money. You know, he could have easily went there. You know what I'm saying? It was just about him being in and out of jail and not being around at certain times when things was popping off with Cash Money and his relationship with KL.
Between 5 and 8, it was platinum for me. far as like once he got out of jail.
You know, Slim will go get locked up, now spends his videos to keep him
relevant.
Right.
Yeah.
Slim kept going to jail for bullshit after bullshit after bullshit after bullshit. Kept the charge, kept the charge.
So Slim was going back and forth to jail for carjackings and attempted murders and murders on.
He kind of like got a cult type of following in jail.
Cox Cable played in jail, so everybody watched the show in jail.
You have any suggestions or any advice for maybe some young impressionable cats out there? Let them know that that's real in there.
Yeah, don't get involved in the foolishness, Lil. I'm trying to tell you what's happening right now. You get involved in foolishness, you might go through that thing you can't handle.
My thing, Slim had caught his last jokes, and he came home and KLC, you know what I'm saying, pulled him under his wing.
I had an opportunity to get with Baby too. I met Big Rufus. My dog Big Rufus, we met in Templeman.
When that nigga in movies?
Big Rufus used to call me Ice Cube. That was like in 90, 91, we Joseph. He put me on the phone with Baby. I spit for Baby, yeah. Come home, you know what I'm saying? Ran the Cash Money a couple of times. We chopped it up a few times, did a song with Mr. Ivan, 187 and the Hockey Man. Mr. Ivan, 187 and the Hockey Man, he was a real rapper, you heard me? He put me on the song with Mr. Ivan, you heard me? The song never got released. I wound up going into...
This ain't my age group, you know. I don't really know nothing about no 94, 90, even early 2000s. That's, you know, my dad know about all that. He know about SOULJA SLIM. I'm not saying he know him, but you know what I'm saying? My dad really from the city, you know what I mean? Mama really from the city, so they know about this. I don't really know. I'm just reacting.
Yeah, me and Slim. Slim had to tell you, yeah, this dealing with Baby too, you know what I'm saying? But nigga just chose to go that way, you know what I'm saying?
So it was a time at a point Slim could have signed with Cash Money?
Fucking right. Slim was wanted, man. We both came home like 2 weeks apart, you know what I'm saying? So I was home like 2 weeks before him, and I waited for him to come home, and KL took both of us to Baton Rouge.
Me and Baby talked. I told Slim one time that Baby came at me for Slim, and he like, look, Funky Beef, all that.
Once you stop at racetrack, no other stop will do.
The pink ones, last one.
Talking about all these rappers y'all look up to. Y'all want to look up to.
If anyone needs unlimited, it's the.
So just something right that nigga really. Yeah.
Slim's excessive prison terms was the key factor in missing his opportunity to sign with Cash Money Records, and although there were more opportunities to sign, Slim's pride wouldn't allow it. Being incarcerated while the Hot Boys blew up put his hood on the national map, and not one time did they mention his name, not even a shout out. So Slim had developed a deep emotional beef against Cash Money Records, and as soon as he got out of jail, he was ready to express it in song and in the streets.
So what about Slim maybe signing with Cash Money? That was never on tape or never idea?
I never heard anything about that, you feel me? But, you know, Slim always was in jail too. Like, you gotta think Slim, you know, from that type of perspective, you gotta think when you go to jail and you see another from your hood blowing up, it kind of make you like jealous or envious too. And ain't wrapping you up or nothing.
Slim knew Birdman and them man never want to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? He already was going through the trauma with Master P. He was like, man, these niggas don't fuck with me, so you know, you ain't with me, you're against me.
So Slim came home with a vengeance, like, I gotta show them, you feel me? And that's why it was cool for Master P to go snatch him, because he already probably had animosity in his head, you feel me? Towards them already blowing up, you feel me? And you know, Slim being arrogant, you know, Slim Ben told you he want his paper and he bought his paper, you feel me?
The same day the Team Summit, and we all had nigga shirts on with the cutthroat knife on them, and we went to Team Summit.
SOULJA SLIM right now. Back up here.
Cause Baby and them was there, all that shit was going on with Baby and them and Juvenile and them, all that shit was going on at the time. You know what I'm saying? You know, Slim see shit and go back in the lab and make a song so fast, nigga don't even be knowing what he hit him with. Look at me, I look at you. Ride Escalade, I ride Escalade too. Player, fuck your 24s, I ride Dub Deuces. Don't
look at me too hard, cause I'ma use this baby Uzi.
Look at me too hard, cause I'ma use this baby Uzi.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know he was talking about Cash Money when he said that, dude. I see, that ain't my era, so I'm just listening to hard music. I fuck with SOULJA SLIM music, but I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with that nigga, I forgot what album that was, but like what I was told, nigga said I'm gonna hit no limit like Pac hit Death Row and make some money like that. His whole, man, that nigga SOULJA SLIM was talking that shit, but I'm telling you, that nigga was gonna be that, bro. Hey, damn, I wish nigga ain't get him, bro.
That That was that Slim. That was off of something. It was just off of a vibe.
Slim was like, my people doing their thing. Got y'all thinking it's sweet down here and it's pretty.
For show, playboy. How can outstun us with these cars?
Slim wasn't really like no bling bling type rapper. Like he ain't like the flossing type shit, you feel me? Slim was like more of a gritty like type shit, you feel me? Got y'all thinking it's sweet and it's shitty.
Oh, you talking about Cash Money? Like a shot
Yeah, Cash Money, yeah. That was like basically like, you know, for outsiders, like y'all thinking it's all bling bling down here. But we really slinging iron too, and we jacking and all of that too, you feel me? Cause Slim come from the jacking background, you feel me? You ain't never heard Slim really be like on some stunt shit until he got cut through, you feel me? If Slim say something about a roller, it's probably like, oh, I snatched this from old boy. I'm flossing with this here roller now. You feel me? Slim ain't gonna never be like, I went down and put 50 on it. You feel me? Slim don't like that type of rap. You feel me? If you go back and listen to Slim's song, this is for the murderers, Jack.
I mean, but he in the streets, he authentic, right? So he was rapping about what SOULJA SLIM was really rapping about what he was like doing, bro. That nigga was really rapping what he was living. So he ain't finna be talking about no, even though he probably do got a Rolex and did have a Rolex and all these cars, like they say, you know what I'm saying? But he ain't trying to rap that. When you in the streets and you out here, you know what I'm saying, robbing, killing, jacking, they ain't trying to hear all that bling bling. I'm gonna tell you what my life about. I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing out here. Birdman talking about some damn 24s, and a nigga ain't worried about no 24s. I'm trying to hear a nigga get his shit bust. That's what I'm trying to hear.
It's kidnappers. From then on up, you feel me? Slim was like, it's Gotham. Like he felt like that draw too much attention, you feel me?
So did Cash Money make it clear that they didn't want to sign him?
See, it ain't never was no talk about it.
I'm thinking like Birdman's position, you know, for me to sign him, you know, it's probably too much of a problem like this.
I think they was kind of like scared of Slim to be around Slim because they were thinking about his old ways.
He had, you know, a reputation of being a bit of a loose cannon. Not necessarily rolling with everything the way everybody planned it and kind of wanted to do things on his own terms.
And you gotta look at it from baby point of view. Like, man, this is chaotic, you feel me? Like, man, let him go, you feel me? Let him go, you feel me?
Yeah.
Like, he could be a problem, you feel me?
Like a headache, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta understand, like, Jizzle could have been a problem, but he raised Jizzle, you feel me? Jizzle out to 13, and Jizzle, he watched Jizzle grow up, so of course he always gonna have that father figure to Jizzle, you feel me? Like with Slim ain't got nobody. Slim out here to get this bread, and he was getting loaded at that time. Slim didn't give a you feel me? Slim was like, it's on the line, let's get it. It's whoever in the way is coming down, you feel me?
Slim was too aggressive, right? But Nas, it was that they don't know how to deal with Slim. You know what I'm saying? Slim was really the realest, the coolest, bro. You can fuck with. You been around him, you seen his attitude, you know? It's just that when you got a whole bunch of giants in the room, they don't know how to mingle with each other. You know what I'm saying? And Slim was just that giant before his time.
Situation that made SOULJA SLIM things.
Enter the Shell-Fill Lucky Sweepstakes for the chance to win $100,000.
I heard SOULJA SLIM guy stood over with a chopper and still survived.
It's so easy to become a pop.
What I heard, nigga said if you jumped off
and open an account.
You survived in '94. You still was alive. You a gangster.
Most of Slim's reputation was built on incidents stemming from the fast-paced streets of the Noya. His entrepreneurial spirit led him to several hustles throughout his life, including cutting hair, being the lookout, and at one point slinging drugs. When he started rapping, he took on the name Magnolia Slim, an extension of his love for the project and a great way to distinguish himself from the other Slims in the city. After a bumpy run with No Limit Records and learning the ropes of the music biz, he changed his name to SOULJA SLIM and was now on his way into the music industry as a record label for the first time.
Man, we used to be in the leg thing, and niggas have all his partners in this bitch, and I was on the last row. And in the back was buku posters and t-shirts and buku guns, and all I remember is, nigga, you got your yeah, drive me around here, yeah. Don't go by that whole house, you don't got your gun.
Before Slim got killed, I had a situation of my own. Slim asked me, was I good? Meaning like, you got access to anything you need over here, just go ahead, you good.
And this real gangster shit you dealing with here, bitch at. Oh, hold up. Hold up here, nasty. Hold up.
You were beating with some people out there, left wall. I don't know who it was. Left wall, uptown. He moved to the east to duck off and chill. Yeah, he was trying to duck off, but his wounds was just fresh because he just hit him up. Right. His wounds was fresh. He still had bullet holes in him and all this here. But he told us When he walked past, he was like, man, look, I gotta do what I gotta do, man. He got hit up uptown. He was people with some people out there left wall. I don't know who it was. Left wall, uptown shit. He moved to the east to duck off and chill.
Okay.
But whoever it was in the left wall, he saw somebody that was close to him and was like, oh, he gonna tell it I'm out here. So he said, I gotta, get to that before he let everybody know where I'm at. He caught whoever he caught. But he said it though. He surely said he was gonna do it. But he the only rap I can honestly say he rap what he did. He ain't put no.
I told y'all, SOULJA SLIM was really like that. That nigga said that nigga got hit up. I think that's the time he got stood over with a chopper. They say SOULJA SLIM got stood over with a chopper, so they say he moved to the east, right? And he was like, you trying to tuck off. But a nigga that was cool with the nigga that hit him up was cool with him. He was like, the nigga probably could tell my location. The nigga probably go, you know what I'm saying, get to me first. So SOULJA SLIM had to do what he had to do. He had to whack him. But he just said that nigga was really living what he did. I told y'all, that nigga really, nigga SOULJA SLIM wasn't lying, bro. Nigga not lying. That nigga, I don't think that, man, like I said, I ain't come up in that era, but everybody vouching, you gonna know what you know. Nigga, if you from Louisiana, nigga, you know. If you got family in New Orleans, you know.
He rapped his life.
He won the studio.
He wasn't no studio, man. He was for real. I can honestly say that. I can't say that about too many rappers. But him, yeah.
So I'm in tour with 50 Cent, in Master P. So we in the hotel, SOULJA come up. He said, hey, he was a fan, right? Because that Pimps Up, Holds Down was #1 in the country. Over 1 billion people seen it. So when we went downstairs, I get in the car with him. He had the white Escalade. Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting in the car with him. Some little nigga coming to bust his motherfucking ass up. And I'm sitting in the car, and he did some New Orleans shit and something, man. Them little niggas kept on going. But them, I seen them. I'm on the passenger side. I said, man, who these little niggas? Man, they some little young niggas, like about 16, 17. They wasn't even no grown niggas. You know what I'm saying? We just in the car, and he wanted me to talk that pimp shit, he was a fan. He was like a real fan. And I'm looking at these little niggas, man, and thank God they left, man. But the hotel was right there, so 50, all of them, they could have helped me, Master P, they was in the hotel, and I'm out here kicking with this little nigga trying to be hood, man, and I almost lost my life, man, fucking with SOULJA SLIM, man.
He'll pull up on us and be like, look, come listen to this here. He really valued what we thought about his music, because when we have a concert, we be at the LD bucking. Yeah, we bucking hard, you know what I'm saying? So every now and then he'll pull up on the avenue, he'll hop on and say, come here. I'll go to the truck, say, get in. I get in the truck, he's gonna pass me the blunt, listen to this here. And it'd be like a song he made, right? But the song playing, but he rapping over the song because he's just freestyling, but he beating on the. I said, bitch, I can't even hear the song. He was out laughing. I knew her. You like that bitch, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, bitch, I can't. He was animated like a mother. Always full of energy. If he come around, bro. If he come around, that full of energy. Like, the dude was special, bro.
That dude was funny, yeah.
Man, that dude was funny. He had that upstate penitentiary like game. Like that used to always talk like he was in the penitentiary. Yeah.
When they see your face and they hear the name Pop, you hear SOULJA SLIM talk about the name.
Right.
In the studio, on the parkway.
Right, that's my nickname, Pop. That's the hood, call me Pop.
These hoes, you understand what I'm saying, Pop? These hoes. He been in the game with me for a minute. You understand what I'm saying? I'm talking about straight from the motherfucking gutter with it. You straight, I'm saying? Represent that motherfucking LAP, Louisiana Parkway. You know what I'm talking about? If a nigga ain't know.
That day in the studio with SOULJA SLIM, how'd that shit come about?
That day in the studio, we was just cool, and I think we linked up and we went to the studio to record for the documentary. When I look at the footage, it brings back memories.
You understand what I'm saying? If I live past 94 and it goes on the street, a gangster, all that. Nigga, what the f you talking about?
Nigga said you live past 94, you in the street, you was a gangster. Nigga said 94 was the bloodiest year in New Orleans. Nigga said, shit, I ain't gonna lie, I heard about 1994 in New Orleans, boy. Shit was going down. I ain't gonna lie, shit was going down. If you go do your research on 1994 New Orleans, bro, y'all talking about Chirac. Y'all talking about Chirac. Well, we the real fucking murder capital, not we. I ain't from New Orleans, but nigga, New Orleans the real fucking murder capital. Fuck what y'all talking about. Y'all talking about Chicago. Yeah, New Orleans got no fucking chopper. Niggas get active.
You remember Slim and his character? If you had to explain who he was, who would you say?
Slim, charismatic, man. Slim was a original individual, man. Born and bred, New Orleans native, and he was New Orleans to the bone. That's why everybody loved him so much, because his spirit was so like naturally New Orleans. He was like, when I say naturally New Orleans, like common amongst most people. So where everybody relate to him, because he was like your cousin, your brother, to that degree. He was charismatic. It was funny. Like I see a lot of the video. What everybody said, who really knew him, described him as, that was him.
Yeah, baby, y'all got me on beam.
I'm not trying to compare SOULJA SLIM to no nigga. Well, the only nigga I compare SOULJA SLIM to, and I ain't trying to say it like that before you come in the comments doing all that. I'm just going off what they saying. They said SOULJA SLIM had high energy, always laughing, smiling, had good energy. Who else was doing that? Lil Jeff. Let's be real. That little bitch SOULJA SLIM tall. Who else was tall? Lil Jeff. They both had something in common. They, you know what I mean? They both like to get high as fuck. Like, bro, Lil Jeff, that nigga had, you could compare Lil Jeff to SOULJA SLIM. I'm telling you, bro. They was saying it, bro. Look, I ain't y'all to do all that, bro. I compare, nigga,
Slim was younger than us, but he always was advanced. You know what I'm saying? For he always hung around us. Like G Money, him and G Money used to hang together. That's who he was talking about. Him and G Money. Me and G Money were the same age, so we used to kick it. We was more close knitted. Slim and G Money used to hang together. They used to like that powder. That powder was the thing at the time.
That was Slim Big Dog, Reg. A lot of people don't know that's who Slim looked up to. Reg. SOULJA Slim. Yeah, that's who. That was he. Reg was the no picks. Rob anybody, get it how you live, and all of that. And Slim kind of, took on his persona.
See, how was Slim at that time when he was fucking with Pablo and shit?
Man, Slim was young, bro. With G Money was probably so Slim probably had to be like 14, 16, and somewhere in that area, 14, 16. Maybe G Money could have been 20, something like that. He was a little older, you know what I'm saying? He kind of look up to him. Who was older in your hood you look up to? That was who G was to Slim. It was like he was his big dog.
So putting me on a map, see what I'm saying? I'm about to go up in that world and no, I ain't sharing. I got about a gram of yeah, you about to go in that way. Yo, I do smoke weed, I don't smoke crack, I do smoke powder, don't smoke for you.
They started smoking that coke early, man. That boy made a song about it. Think about it, man. Mine was fucked up. He was 15, talking about start a powder bag. You hear me?
He was 15 in that shit?
That was regular. It was cool though. But that was the coke epidemic at the time. That coke was so plentiful, dog. And young niggas had money. This shit was crazy, man. Slim was just wide open with it. He wasn't no secret. Them niggas started smoking that coke and doing everything he talking about in them songs. Both of them had that same interest.
Yeah, that economy.
I ain't with that problem,
Nigga, so hold on, boy. Wait,
Thank God I'm starving. Can you recommend a good place to eat?
I ain't with that problem, Them songs. Both of them had that same interest. Them niggas started smoking that coke and doing everything he talking about in them songs. Both of them had that same interest.
Yeah, that economy.
I ain't.
SOULJA SLIM was on that dog food. Nigga did say that he was on that powder though. Nigga did say he was on that powder. But when you know what I'm saying, when you do what you done in the streets, you gonna do that, you know what I mean? Because ain't no other way to cope with, But some niggas just like getting high. But like I was saying, another nigga who was snorting shit too, Lil Jeff. Tall just like SOULJA SLIM. Killing shit just like him. Authentic just like him. You look competitive too, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, Lil Jeff and SOULJA SLIM got a lot of common, bro. He got a lot of common. That nigga so niggas on that powder at 16.
Club Rumors, when they did the show in Club Rumors.
Him, SOULJA SLIM.
Yeah, him, SOULJA. It was Reg. Reg passed away, Slim passed away, and it was T-Knock and QB1. And I was in Rumors that night when they did the concert. And what happened was, when Reg got up there to start rapping, what his name was? Dude, the Pimp Daddy. Pimp Daddy was in the boot or whatever. I think Pimp Daddy was baby artist or something like that. And so Pimp Daddy cut the music off. So Reg being the gangster he was, turned around, called them all kind of put ass motherfuckers. bitch ass, blah, 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 blah. And I don't even remember if they performed the song that night or not, but I know that started off, that's how it started off. And I just remember Baby and Reg. We didn't call Baby Baby at the time. Reg used to call him Cash Money. I ain't know the fuck Baby was. You know, I just know the nigga had all the goals in his mouth, and they were talking about he had Pimp Daddy and UNLV and all of them or whatever. Right. But him and Reg was talk. They wasn't fussing. They just was talking like, you know, or whatever. But you know, Reg was gonna speak his piece. They was fussing, talking or whatnot. But I think Baby was more or less telling them like, you tripping. Oh, you bye. Reg was just mad. You know, and Reg got killed. I think Slim was in jail and Reg got killed or whatever. But
before he passed, he was really like getting aggravated with music. The day before Slim passed, he was still mad that he never got booked for a show in New Orleans. Like, he never ever got booked for a show. Like, every show that he did in New Orleans, like Tipitina's or whatever, that was for his birthday or something he put together himself. He never got.
Why is that? Why? It was a reason.
I think he was like, we don't show each other love, like in the city, like he could get booked in Bugaloose in Mississippi, but nobody in New Orleans was willing to pay.
You mean just basically like a concert?
Like basically like a book him as a headliner for a concert.
Gotcha.
Well, that's why SOULJA SLIM was so fit and dangerous, man. SOULJA SLIM was, you know what I'm saying? That's who Tupac thought he was. They talking about he the Tupac of New Orleans. He the Tupac of New Orleans because of the rap. Nigga, Tupac ain't nothing like SOULJA SLIM. Nigga really living like that, but if you like this video, subscribe, like, comment, mess with me. We teed up, man. We teed up every day. We drop videos daily, so don't miss out. I appreciate y'all. Send it to your cousin, mama. I don't fuss. I mean, I don't cuss, but it might be a fuss. You know what I mean?